let's get into the Little Ryder Cup conversation because, we're getting close to it. I feel like every week somebody does something like Cam Young just did, and then they put themselves in the conversation as well. We've checked in on this a few times in terms of looking at the team. I think you and I are probably going to firmly agree on 8 easily that are on the American side: Scotty, Xander, Bryson, Spawn, Henley, English, JT, Morikawa. Is that fair?
Yep, they're all on.
Think they're on. I still have Keegan on the team. Just missed the cut, but I think Keegan's on the team, which makes 9. Do you agree or no?
I have Keegan on the team, but
Okay.
I am concerned about his status, Shane, just given the recent developments with the younger American teams. But I will be pretty upset if if he bows out for some vanilla ass NPC player who brings no juice to this competition. I'll be pretty upset.
It's a good point. I mean, I think that's something we don't talk enough about with Keegan. Is it's not just Keegan playing solid golf and being the captain and all that stuff. I mean, Keegan's going to bring energy. He's going to be into this. Like this is his Super Bowl. I mean, he looks at the Ryder Cup as an event he obviously loves, and it's one that's kind of broke his heart, in his career. And I feel like Keegan is a guy that when he's playing, you look back at the highlights with Phil and in his prime, it's like this was the team. This was the energy squad, for the American side on home soil. That matters. That matters more than just being a good player, being one of the top 10 American players. So if you're looking at that group, we've got Keegan on there. That's 9, which means there's 3 spots right now. And my 3 names is going to come from this list. Tell me if there's somebody I'm missing here.
Okay.
Spieth, Griffin, Cantlay, Cam Young, Burns, Wyndham Clark, Goddard. Is anybody not on that list that you think at least has an opportunity to potentially make this squad?
I think we're simpatico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then of those names, who do you have right now?
Okay. So of those names, I have, and I'm looking at this as I always think about partnerships when I'm thinking about making a team. So I have Cameron Young on my team. Like I said, I think he's healthy again, which matters a lot. I think he is a great partner for Colin Morikawa.
Okay.
And so he is on the team. I have Chris Goddard up on the team.
Wow.
I always lean Young. He's 26. Give him the opportunity. And I think it's really important to note, Shane, we are not asking these captain's picks to be the number 1 guy, to be a top 5 guy on the team. We have that taken care of already. We just need you to contribute to a few matches. I think Goddard's there. Josh in the chat, he's talking about NPC vanilla ass guys. Cameron Young, I understand he falls under that category, but
I like when the producer chirps you and nobody else knows that he's chirping you. And then you're pointing if you're getting chirped. It's great.
I see all the comments
from
Josh.
So you're going. I mean, now again, I do think it's worth pointing out that you a few moments ago said you don't want vanilla ass guys on the team, and you picked 2 dudes that I wouldn't exactly say are the loudest of people in a golf tournament. Kind of keep to themselves. Now their golf game's loud. They both hit it really hard and really far, and that helps around Bethpage Black. But I mean, you've picked those 2 names, which means that your team you're leaving off Spieth, you're leaving off a Cantlay.
Whoa! I have one more pick. Pick. Yeah. And so to further contradict myself, Patrick Cantlay has to be on this Ryder Cup team, in my opinion.
You are just bringing energy to this squad with your 3 picks.
100% has to be on this team. It would be malpractice, borderline irresponsible if Patrick Cantlay is not on this team.
Hey, Josh, so will you throw up Cantlay's season when you get a second? I just want to look at it.
And per the vanilla comment, that was if Keegan Bradley replaces himself with a vanilla character.
That's fair. That's actually a very fair point.
And I am concerned that's going to happen with one Ben Griffin. But Keegan Bradley is on my team.
Okay. I mean, Ben Griffin's game has been loud this year. I mean, I think that's the one thing you can say. And I've gone back to this point a few times. Ben Griffin, probably Keegan light when you think about the way he plays golf and the season he's had. And Keegan's going to go back to the moment he was left off the team that was famously shown, obviously, on Full Swing, the whole phone call and all that stuff. But so no Spieth for you, which right now is probably the call. I mean, it's a bummer. I think Spieth brings energy. I think Spieth gets the fans riled up. I think Spieth is still one of the most popular golfers in the world. As we take a look here at Cantlay's season, Missed the cut at the Open, missed the cut at the U.S. Open. We went over his majors, missed the cut at the PGA, T12 at Memorial, which I'd say probably is a fair comp to what we might see at Bethpage. Obviously, maybe a little easier. He's played well at the PGA Tour events. He's just played terrible at the big events. And that's pretty much what we said about Cantlay. But there's sneaky consistency in this season outside of the majors, which I guess if you're going to make an argument for Cantlay, that's probably what you say.
Yeah, if you look at the actual numbers, last 6 months, he's borderline top 10 in total strokes gained. He's a top 5 iron player in the world, mind you. And then you add in, he's really good in these team settings. Like you think about big moments, Rory and Cantlay on 18, Siwoo Kim and Cantlay on 18 at Royal Montreal. This is a guy who has actually elevated his play. I know he doesn't do it in major championships, but he does it in this competition, which I don't think can be said for everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's Cantlay is obviously a placeholder on this team. I mean, he's got a partner already that makes a lot of sense, and they like each other and they play really solid golf in these team events together. And I think if you're an American captain, vice captain, guy in the background that matters, that kind of has the ear of Keegan or whoever, if you're going to follow a European model for your Ryder Cup team, then I think at times you do go with people that seem to be extremely comfortable in this environment. Because if you look at the European side, that's kind of what they've done, right, to success. It's used guys that are playing solid golf, if they're not playing great golf, but seem to play well at Ryder Cups, and that is Patrick Cantlay. I mean, that's who he's been in his career.
Yeah, the Ryder Cup is not an award for playing well that season. You got to put together a team who you think is going to perform in a chaotic environment, right? Just because you won one time on the PGA Tour and you might be borderline, that doesn't mean you're going to play well in a Ryder Cup. And so I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect there when people are putting together their teams. And Cantlay, it's not like he's even had that bad of a season. He's 23rd in the FedEx Cup right now. Like he's probably going to make the Tour Championship too. So I know there's been some chatter out there. I can't imagine him not being on this team.
I mean, he's not on my team right now, but I mean, you make an argument that makes me want to put him on there. I mean, honestly, like you talking about this and throwing some of the stats out and looking at his season, it's like you probably should put him on. I mean, outside of a Spieth, who I would root for Spieth simply for the story and to watch him play and to get that nostalgic pairing. If you throw it out there with JT, like it's been fun. It hadn't been as much fun lately. It was definitely not that much fun in Paris. But I mean, you look at a Jordan Spieth and you see a player that, again, is going to get fans riled up. And if he plays well, the energy comes with that. And I mean, obviously, if you play bad and you get smoked, then Keegan and the crew kind of looks like an idiot. I have Cam Young on my team as well. I think Cam Young makes a lot of sense. I think if Goddard plays another solid week or two, I think it'd be silly to leave him off. Again, I just think if somebody's playing this well, it hurts your team not to put him on there, especially when you're looking at some of these other names. And I had Griffin on there, but I think I might replace him with what you said after you've kind of pointed out all the Cantlay facts. Is again, this is a Ryder Cup match play event. This is not anything else. And Patrick Cantlay has proven time and time again that he does extremely well in this environment, and he seems to embrace it.
Exactly. And for your Jordan Spieth JT point, JT is going to find a new partner in Bryson DeChambeau this year.
You think so?
And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. They're going to send him off first. They're going to ignite the crowd. Because, Shane, how many players do you think on this team can handle the combination of the Ryder Cup circus and the Bryson DeChambeau circus on this U.S. team? And you look at their skill sets, very complementary. JT can't drive the ball. That's what Bryson does best. Bryson can't hit an iron. That's what JT does best.
Yep.
Both can putt pretty well. And I see those two going out every single time.
Okay. I like that. I don't hate throwing spawn with Bryson either, but I do think, again, to your point on handling the situation, especially maybe in day one, home environment will maybe help some of these younger players or more inexperienced players probably handle a situation like Bryson. If it was across the pond, I would say you got to put a veteran with DeChambeau when you're doing this, especially early in the week. But I like that a little bit. I like the idea of throwing JT and Bryson and have kind of like this little marquee fan favorite pairing to go out there against some Europeans. Speaking of the Europeans, I have a major question I want to ask you here.
Okay.
Is Sepp Straka on this team?
Oh, come on, Shane.
He's
Come
dropping
on.
down the rankings, man. I'm telling you, had not played great golf as of late. I mean, the European team is a little bit of an old boys club as well when you look at it. And I just am wondering if Sepp is on this team. That's my question.
Sepp's kind of had the Patrick Cantlay season, pretty much, but instead of like a top 10 finish at a signature event, he's won it, right? Because his major season was putrid. What was it? 3 missed cuts and then T52 at the Open.
Yeah, missed the cut at Augusta, 78 in round one. Coming in obviously with a lot of kind of sleeper hype, if you will. Missed the cut at the PGA, played bad in the opening round. There was 78 in the opening round of the U.S. Open as well. Just got off to these awful starts, almost like Justin Thomas, like in the Thursday rounds. And as you said, didn't break 70 at the Open. The only made cut he had at that major championship.
Sepp Straka is 100% on this team. We just
100%.
We just talked about how the Europeans, they never overreact. They know they have their guys. They're steady. He's been there before.
Just saying. I'm just saying if he drops out of the auto with some of these other names there, I'm very interested. So my European team right now, and I have Sepp on it for argument's sake. Rory, Rahm, Bobby Mack, Fleetwood, Hatton, Lowry, Sepp, Ludwig, Hovland, Fitzpatrick.
Yep. So
we have 2 spots left.
Yes.
I think early in the year, Justin Rose was an auto pick there. You and I've talked about Rose. Found a little bit of form as of late after completely struggling, but big question mark for me is Justin Rose. Is he going to be on the team? One last kind of gasp for Rose, and does Donald pick him, all that stuff? Or do you go down the Rasmus hole? I mean, a couple of those names there as well. Niergaard, Peterson, or Højgaard. Obviously, Dietrich's there. Matt Wallace is there. I put Sergio on my list with a question mark just for fun, even though Sergio said he wouldn't even accept being picked. What was that? After, I think, the PGA. Who's your 2 to fill out that team?
We're running it back, Shane. We are going with the same 12 from Rome. We're going with Justin Rose, and we're going with Nikolai Højgaard. Okay. There are 2 players who could throw a wrinkle into this plan, though. And I think one is very live, with that being Aaron Rai. I think he could have a very good FedEx Cup playoffs, and he could knock Nikolai out of the final spot, because both the Højgaards missed the FedEx Cup playoffs. Huge in my opinion. And so I think Rose is on the team. Need that veteran presence there in Bethpage. And I think that final spot, if I'm Luke Donald right now, I'm like, Nikolai Højgaard's playing as well as anyone else kind of trying to make that spot right now. Let's just throw him back in there. But Aaron Rai is my 13th man, potentially 12th man.
Interesting. I like that. I kind of want to go Højgaard boys is kind of where I'm thinking. Unless Rose makes a lot of noise in the next couple of weeks. I'm with you. I think they pick Rose. If I'm Europe, I'm really concerned with the last 4 names. I just, again, what am I going to get out of Ludwig? What am I going to get out of Sepp? What am I going to get out of Victor Hovland right now?
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, I think, is a guy that's probably going to maybe play 5 sessions at this point, considering the way he's playing. I will say that about Europe is I don't want to bring up, Brookline and Boston and all that stuff, but I feel like the top 6, 7, 8 names here are going to play a ton of golf those first, 2 days. Like, they're just going to have to roll them out a lot. And I think you could see Europe maybe, I mean, they're not going to not play guys like that could happen in the 99, but I think you could seriously look at this and go 1 session for a couple of these question marks.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And one name you did not mention, but one name I think Luke Donald would like to see show a little bit of form here is Shane Lowry. He has not been great really ever since coming up short to Straka there in Philly. And I mean, with how he's kind of been on the golf course this summer, if there's one guy, the New York crowd, if they want to circle someone and really get under his skin, it's Shane Lowry.
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And I'll be interested too. I mean, obviously we'll talk plenty of Ryder Cup as we get closer to it, but I'll be very interested if it's Rory Lowry or if you go Rory Fitzpatrick, because obviously both of those have worked in different instances, but I almost feel like you got to go Rory Fitzpatrick as maybe your like A1 team for the week. And that's kind of who you roll out.
Yeah, it was I think Rory had some Fleetwood action in there too in Rome.
Sounds like you're like talking about like a summer concert session or something there. I
Yeah,
got a little Fleetwood up on the stage.
he was in the pit. Rory was in the pit at the Fleetwood concert. I think Rahm and Hatton were great. You get the
Yep.
Vikings together with Ludwig and Victor, and yeah, I think
It's pretty good.
I think I don't know who they'll pair Rory with. He could go with anyone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah, he'll be fired up to play with anybody. But listen, Rory's not the concern. That's for sure. That's not the guy they're concerned about. If you had to pick a winner right now, who do you think wins right now? As we sit, 2 months out.
I'm going with the U.S. right now.
Okay.
2 months out.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm still the betting favorite, right?
Yeah, I think
Slight
Europe
favorite?
is like plus 150.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go Europe. I had this conversation the other day in Florida. I do think Europe, as you said, got off to such a hot start this season. Everybody, myself included, was saying this is going to be it. The Americans have no chance. At some point, it's got to happen where an away team wins it. And it feels like if there was ever a time for it to happen, it would be the mix of everything that's going on here, right? It's the European have a very strong team, a competent captain that really, really knows what they're doing, people in the background that know what they're doing on a golf course that, when you kind of go side by side with these teams, there's not an enormous advantage, I don't think, on the American side versus what you're going to get for the Europeans, right? Americans might have a couple of guys that are longer than maybe the average guys on the European squad, but I don't think it's that big of a difference to make that, to really matter. I'm going to go Europe. I just think I'll stick with them until something crazy happens.
Yeah, I think inside the ropes, U.S. has a slight edge. Outside the ropes, Europe has a significant edge.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Everything that's going on with the U.S. leadership, and then Europe, like Luke Donald's feet up, kicking back. Like, all right, I might have to make a couple picks here.